Here's why you shouldn't apply to Questbridge. Let me tell you a little bit about Questbridge first, the organization. Questbridge is a community organization for low-income students, right? You have to be making less than $65,000. It's a community organization for low-income students, and it basically allows them to get into a college with a full ride scholarship. So when you apply to college, you get a full ride scholarship. So how it works is you list a bunch of schools, I think it's like 12, you list a bunch of schools, and the highest level school that you get accepted to, you have to go to. So let's say I have Colorado College, Pomona College, and a bunch of other schools, right? I have 10 more schools. If I get rejected from Colorado College, but I get accepted to Pomona College, then I will have to attend Pomona College. Now, there are a list of schools in the Questbridge list where if you get in, you don't have to go, but those are like Stanford, MIT, Yale, because honestly, they don't care if you go or not. But anyways, let's focus. So let me tell you a little bit about my Questbridge experience. I found out about the Questbridge program during my junior year. I applied to it. At the time I applied for the program, it was called the Questbridge College Prep Scholars program. And it was basically for juniors. It was a way for juniors to get to know Questbridge so that they could apply for Questbridge the next year. And so basically they flew me out. I went to California. First time I went to California, it was amazing. Flew me to California and I got to engage in this conference, and this conference was full of admission officers. It had top schools like MIT, Stanford, Brown. It was so amazing. And me, I've never left this state. I've never left this box state, Colorado. Never. That was an amazing experience, and I got to meet so many admission officers. Got to talk to them. Got to do so many things with them. But this wasn't the only program I was involved in. So I've met admission officers before, but I was just really lucky to have this program. And basically, I was so hopeful, Next year I'm applying to Questbridge. I actually might have a chance to be a Questbridge National College Match Scholar. I was really happy. But guess what? I didn't apply. I did not apply to Questbridge next year, and I'm gonna tell you why. But first, I want to talk about this channel. This channel is going to be talking about college-related stuff for juniors, seniors, freshmen, even. College is a little hard. But you should not let this get involved with your studies or whatever you're doing, because that's first. But if you need some tips, I'm going to be providing some videos that have helped me, that I've also learned from other people. So this isn't just me, nobody ever learned or teaches something that nobody hasn't taught before. So reason number one why you shouldn't apply to Questbridge. Questbridge decreases your acceptance rate of getting into a college. Let me explain. So let's say I have listed Stanford. I'm applying to Stanford, the Questbridge program. If I'm applying to Stanford, I'm competing with everybody else who applied through the College Prep Scholars match, right? So there's about more than 18,000 applications, I think last year, more than 18,000. So let's say that a good number of them, I'm talking about like 1,500 applied to Stanford, right? Stanford only allows Questbridge a limited number of spots, so it cannot accept all the students who apply. It allows a limited number of spots, and that number is so slow. It ranges from 30 to like 60. So it's really, look at how many people get accepted. So it's really, really difficult. Now let's say that if you didn't apply to Questbridge, to the Questbridge scholarship application, Stanford's acceptance rate is 4%, and it accepts about 2,000 people. So when you apply to Questbridge, you're only competing with other students who are applying to Stanford in Questbridge. So you might have, if you had applied without Questbridge, you might have gotten in. But guess what? They would not have let you in because there's a limited quota number of students that get into Stanford through the Questbridge College Prep Scholars. The second reason, why would you apply to Questbridge? For scholarship money, right? But what if I could tell you that you could get a full ride scholarship without applying to Questbridge? Here's why. Questbridge only allows people to apply who are making less than $65,000. So you have to be a low-income person to apply to Questbridge. Well, guess what? Most of the schools on Questbridge, on the list of Questbridge, they will give you a scholarship, a full ride scholarship, if you're already making that much. So if you did not apply to Questbridge, you just apply directly to the school, whether it's early action, early decision, restrictive early action, regular decision, you would have gotten a full ride scholarship. So now you're not only decreasing your acceptance rate, You could get the money without even applying to Questbridge. So why waste your time? And the Questbridge process, is very long. It's very long. It's different stages and everything, and I don't recommend it. I feel like you would have higher chances if you applied directly towards the school early, because early is higher. And I will be talking about that in my next videos. But applying to schools early can give you a benefit to being accepted. First of all, when you apply to Questbridge, you cannot apply to schools outside of Questbridge. There's a restriction on that. I don't know how much, but there's a restriction on that. So you have to stick to the schools on Questbridge. But by the time the application process is sent and you get your decision back, whether you've been accepted or rejected, the application results for other schools are already out, so you can't apply early anymore. So now the schools that you would have wanted to apply early, that option is out now. You can't apply to those schools, and that's going to decrease your acceptance rate chances when you apply to regular, because regular decision is known to have a less acceptance rate. And when you apply, so let's say I want to apply to 10 schools early action, and that's without Questbridge, of course. That's without Questbridge. And I can find out if I get rejected, that's fine. I could apply regular decision. My point is, if you apply to other schools instead of Questbridge early, you can apply to multiple schools without having to limit yourself, without having to go to the school, because Questbridge requires you to go to the school that you apply to. You cannot change your mind, that's it. And what if you apply regular and you gotten into a better school, or a school that you actually wanted to go to? You don't have that option with Questbridge. So I recommend that you just apply directly to the school that you want to go to. Now, my next video, I'm going to be talking about when to apply to these schools and which schools you should apply to. There's a list of schools that I want you to learn about. It's called schools that meet 100% demonstrated need, and that's what most of Questbridge schools do. These schools already, if you cannot afford college, there's a number that will tell you if you can afford college, or how much you have to pay, what's required of you to pay. If you can't afford college, that number will be 0, right? And that means that the school will cover everything from tuition to housing to room to board, even recreation. You will not be expected to pay any amount of money. And I recommend that you apply to those schools so that you can get a full ride and get to go to the school that you want to without decreasing your chances of being accepted. I hope this video was helpful. I'm gonna start posting videos weekly, hopefully. And if you guys have any questions, I forgot to tell you, subscribe now. Trust me, if you like this video, I'm gonna be making a lot of videos that you're gonna enjoy. But anyways, my next videos, I'm gonna be talking about applying to college, when to apply to college, when to start the application process, how to study for the SAT, ACT, which scores you should submit, AP scores, because there's a lot of confusion about that, and other things. So please subscribe, and I will promise to make those videos for you, unless I die. Have a great day. If you have any questions about the college process, put a question in the bottom of the comment section, or whatever that section is, or you can DM me on Instagram with Rafat Imam. I'll probably have that in the comment section, and I will gladly answer some of your questions. I'm a college freshman right now. I'm at Stanford University. Zoom, we're online, so it's not really Stanford. I've never been to Stanford, but oh yeah, last thing, don't forget to subscribe.